IVM.
Hey there, friend. If you're anything like me, then you have no clue what a mutual fund is, and your life might be subject to market risks too. So that's why you should probably listen to Paisa Vaisa by Anupam Gupta, who'll answer all your questions about mutual funds, financial planning, banking, all that money stuff. You know. Check out new episodes every week on the IVM podcast app and anywhere else you listen to podcasts.
Look, up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's news. And it's not news. It's the Geek Fruit Bulletin. Welcome to the Geek Fruit Bulletin. My name is Dinkar.
Good one.
Yeah.
For me, since we're doing this every week until we die, if you can come up with any new thing at all, it doesn't have to be good.
This is a new thing. It's a classic thing.
I'm not going to rate it. I don't think we should. I think if you can come up with a new one, that's the reward in itself.
Exactly. It's about the challenge for me.
It's about the challenge of introducing the show differently every week. I think you're good.
I'm there.
We struggle when you're not here.
But
we also get to it much quicker.
Yeah, but my way is more. There's intros and there's not intros. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. It's that Schrodinger vibe. Anyway, this is Dinkar and me, Tejas. What are we talking about, Dinkar and me, Tejas?
We're talking about a bunch of stuff, man. So to start with, we're gonna do a plug for our event coming up on May the 4th.
A plug doesn't have to. If we talk about anything, it's a plug. No, it's not like a plug is just a shameless tool.
No, I mean, we're plugging essentially what we're doing here anyway.
Yeah, which is why I brought it up.
Yeah.
I feel like it's our own event, so it's not like we're doing like, hey, here's a plug for this thing that if I was,
it's not like we're going like, a good night's sleep, Lisa mattresses.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
or for example, if I was saying that, earlier this week, I was on Rohan Joshi's show, Beyond the Wall. It's not like that, basically.
Get out of here with that. That's a plug.
Oh, that's a plug? It's already happened, so it's over.
Can they watch it after you've been on it? Or is it a live only thing?
Because I'm endgaming a bit here, but I don't know right now.
Okay, cool. We'll see.
Yeah.
If not, just keep tuning in to Beyond the Wall and
yeah, it's good.
They just might pop up.
Yes, true.
Cool, but tell me what's happening on May the 4th.
So May the 4th is second edition, volume 2 of Geek Fruit Cantina. This time we've retitled it. Mm-hmm. It's called Geek Fruit's Cantina Strikes Back.
That's a good name.
Yeah, it's good. I'm happy. I was thinking, should I call it Geek Fruit Cantina Part 2? But then I was just like, why? The naming convention in Star Wars films are so good.
Exactly.
I would like for it to, strike back. Rather than
and we are striking back. We're striking back
next
hard.
Year.
We've got.
How are we doing? Go ahead. Tell me what's in it.
How much are we revealing? Okay, so we've got special guests Ankit Dayal and Naveen Narona.
Excellent. I'm very excited. Both of them are great nerds. I love them.
They're great. They're going to be joining us for a live podcast of this very show.
Oh man, I love live podcasts in front of a live audience.
I know, it's the best.
Yeah, live podcasts in front of a dead audience is the worst.
Like the audience we're speaking to right now. They're dead, man. They haven't said a word to me yet. I'm still waiting.
This is true.
Not one word, Tejas. So
not one word. Anyway. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So they're going to be joining us for a live podcast. We've got...
What are we talking about? Usually... So last year's theme was the prequels, and we did this whole screening of the prequel Strike Back, actually, which is a film by a director... whose name I forget. I actually mailed him. He actually gave us an introduction and everything last year. It was great. The screening was good. And it was all about the prequels last year. That was our theme last year. But this year, what is our theme this year, man?
This year we're celebrating...
Are we doing original trilogy? We haven't really decided yet.
We haven't decided yet, but I feel like we should be looking forward. They're going to close the saga, man.
I think that's a great theme, but may I suggest a theme? Mm-hmm. If I may, right now, on air.
Okay.
Digitally.
Yeah.
But I think we should, maybe one of the themes, because we want to talk about Rise of Skywalker, but we also want to talk about, I want to talk about, some of the games that have come out, on phone, the expanded universe that is not really the original expanded universe, but maybe some stuff that is peripheral to Star Wars, like Star Wars Resistance, the new show, which is by, Dave Filoni. We can talk a little bit about Mandalore. Even though we have very little information, I'd like to just have a casual chat.
Yeah, exactly. All of this stuff was brought up in Star Wars Celebration, in fact.
Yeah, because there's so much quirkiness outside just the
Yeah.
films. Like, I was hoping that we could do a bit, like just a small section of Star Wars Uncut, where basically it's a movie that was divided into 30-second clips, basically the entirety of the film, and then offered for bidding on the internet. And basically you could bid to recreate one of those scenes in any style you want: Knight Rider, anime, animation, whatever, so these guys did it, and they've released 2 of the films so far. So they've done A New Hope and they've done Empire Strikes Back. I was hoping we could maybe play 10-15 minutes of some critical scene and see how people have recreated it. I thought that would be fun.
We could do that.
Yeah.
You can skip to any part of that movie, and it's a bit
absolutely
of a trip.
zany, which is why I'm not even recommending the entirety of it.
I don't think have you watched the entirety of it?
No, I've only seen it
skipped through.
in bits. Yeah, exactly.
I don't even think I've literally just skipped around.
But I just wanted to showcase the creativity of
Cool.
and the fandom.
So here's the situation.
Yeah.
Live podcast, 3 segments. First, Rise of Skywalker. Next, Mandalorian and Resistance. And
Yes.
finally, quirky stuff outside the movies,
And which leads perfectly into another quirky set of things.
which is
Dinker's
Dinker's Games.
Nice.
I mean, Dinker's Games is what it is. What's Dinks and Dinks?
See you
You can't. I need something as catchy as what's Jablin Jables.
As Jablinski
Yeah,
Games.
that is the most meaningless thing.
For those of you who don't know.
Jables.
Yeah, for those
so
of you who
why
don't
does
know,
he say what's Jablin Jables?
He can say whatever he wants.
can
Jack
say whatever.
Black's YouTube channel, Jablinski Games. If you haven't seen it already,
Jablinski Games.
It's amazing. It's a one of a kind show. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
Since it's only a one show channel.
Yeah,
like there's no
essentially.
sub shows or any other type of thing, and it's like directed and edited also by his kids, and it's awesome.
Don't know
and
if
one
it's
of
literally his kids. It's a
No, there-
professional dude who does it along with the kid.
one dude, yeah, but
Yeah.
the kid is kind of like calling
I
the
think the
shots.
kid is like a creative director, and it was probably his idea in the first place. And the main, like the legwork of it, and probably a lot of like
Inspiration.
calls are taken by the exactly
Yeah.
are taken by the main dude whose
I mean,
name I
half of
forget.
the show is Jablinski just taking his kids to the pinball arcade.
Essentially,
and stuff,
he's a cool dad.
He is epitome, man.
He's a cool dad. He's got a pretty decent YouTube channel, but Jablinski Games are bullshit when compared to Dinker's Games.
Oh, wow.
They are nothing.
Okay, all right.
I mean, like, I've got the Elgato and everything.
All
So,
right.
yeah, come out for Dinker's Games. You can actually win stuff.
What are
Dinker's Games
we offering as prizes?
We've got custom mugs.
Wow.
We've got merch.
We've got merch, nice and vague.
We've got stuff that we'll sign, I suppose.
Yeah, we'll sign. People want our signatures.
They want our signatures.
Yeah.
Ideally on blank checks.
They want an autograph. All right.
So, yeah, we'll be handing out a bunch
Look
of
at this
thingies.
autograph.
Oh, no.
It's your
No.
favorite band.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's Geek Fruit's Cantina Strikes Back. Actually, you know what? I know we're not going to have enough time. But actually, before people come in, if you want, this is my suggestion. We're going to be setting up the place at 4 o'clock, okay?
Right.
And yeah, people can mill around if they want at the Cuckoo Club. But I think whilst we're setting up, I'm going to play a film which I think would be cool and relevant, which is The Director and the Jedi. Which is from the bonus features. Actually, it's its own documentary about Mark Hamill and Ryan Johnson.
Yeah.
And since they were not mentioned at all during Star Wars Celebration, all of thrice, I think Ryan Johnson's film was mentioned. I think we should just, I just want to play a little bit of it, just
Sure.
for people.
Done.
Yeah, so people come in. While we're setting up, you can be part of the fam. It's a limited seating only event. So
Yeah.
RSVP quickly. The link is in our bio on our Instagram, or you can find it on Insider.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where
May
you
the
can-
4th,
on May
Saturday,
the 4th. Saturday
4:30 in
between-
the afternoon.
Yep.
The Cuckoo Club in Bandra. in
Bandra,
Mumbai.
yes. Near,
If you're outside,
near
outside
Candies,
Bombay, fly in, whatever, it's cool.
Yeah. It's the, like I said, it's a Star Wars event like no other, and also the only Star Wars event.
I think so.
Yes.
It might actually be.
Oh, I'm saying it with complete confidence.
Okay. And
yeah.
and you pretty much know what's going to happen there because we literally planned it right now.
Yeah, it's all good.
But yeah, it's going to be a good one.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
Right, so, now that plug is over, what are we talking about?
We're talking about multiple things, man. So to start with, Avengers Endgame.
I mean,
This is a movie that's come out apparently. It's made over $1 billion already.
Yeah.
And at least 700 of those dollars.
came
Actually,
from... No, well, not over 700
I
came
would
from
say
India.
about $10.
No, are
actually,
you
now
mad?
that, if I convert it, yeah.
What,
We spent
$10?
about $10 on this movie.
Oh, us? I
Yeah,
thought you were
yeah.
talking about India. Okay, just to be
Oh,
clear,
no.
we're not spoiling
I
anything
spent about
right
$10
now.
on. Of course not. Yeah,
We're
we're
not
going to do a
spoiling-
proper deep
spoiler
dive
thing.
episode
Yeah,
later.
yeah.
And this was really just an excuse for us to mention that.
I think our episode is going to be great. But yes, in terms of the amount of money this movie's made, has it broken? This is all I am concerned with. Has it defeated Avatar? Call me when it's defeated
Not
Avatar.
yet, because it's just hit $1 billion. But also at this stage where we're recording this, it's been a couple of days since the movie's been out.
Yeah, it made 1.2 billion on the weekend.
Yeah.
Not the week even.
I was looking at the live stats, and it was like Avengers Endgame has made 1.1999
Yeah.
99910 billion dollars.
Right.
And then I bought my ticket.
And then you.
I saw the counter roll over.
Yes.
I totally messed up the number of nines in that thing. It's unimportant. We know I don't know math.
1.9999990.
I heard also two things about this movie. It made $1 billion, and apparently it had 1 billion characters. If you count all of them, there were about 1 billion.
You're talking about the script?
Yeah.
Do you ever count your word count in MS Word when you're submitting an essay back in the day? Then
Yeah,
this was
what
a
essay
thing we
would
used
I
to
be
do.
submitting?
In university?
Yeah. Of course. I mean, didn't you
did you
have word counts?
Yeah, we did, and I used to count the characters also, and just to make myself feel good.
Yeah.
12,000 characters. Okay.
Again, slightly less than the number of characters Avengers Endgame has.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But it doesn't actually have that many.
No, it doesn't. It has everyone.
No,
but
it doesn't
cool.
have everyone.
Of course it has everyone.
No, Dinkar, it does not.
Who's missing?
There are only 6 people in the movie. The original 6 Avengers.
Yeah.
That's it. Nobody else is in it.
Nobody else is in it.
No.
Yeah, it's them in a room going
It's
like...
them versus Thanos. That's it.
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't know what you're talking about.
All right. One more thing that we shall discuss now.
Okay.
Okay. Should we tell people what we thought before we
Of the
go
movie?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Cool. Listen.
Why trash this film in front of them?
Tune in. Yeah, that's true. We hated it. Tune in to our full episode to hear us deep dive into it.
And
But
just trash it royally. It's a terrible film. No, yeah.
I'm gonna.
I'm okay with that
I'm
opinion
gonna
for now.
bring up your other plug, which was you're on Beyond the Wall with.
I was actually.
Oh, you were
On
already.
Monday. I was on Monday.
Discussing the 3rd episode of Game of Thrones, I want to say.
Yes, the Battle of Winterfell.
So we're halfway through this season, and we're going to do again a full deep dive into Game of Thrones, I suppose, once the entire season is complete.
What's your thoughts so far?
At the halfway point?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. I feel like...
I'll say something. I think the second episode was really good.
Oh yeah, it was great.
I think it was the best episode so far.
Yes.
I want to lay a contingency though.
Okay, tell me.
I will like the 3rd episode if things happen in the future. This is a weird thing to say.
Exactly. I feel like it's premature to take any calls on this
Yes.
because at this stage of Game of Thrones, the 2nd episode, great. Loved
Amazing.
every moment
Such a
of
good
it.
episode.
But also, there's a lot more. It feels like we're in the last couple of moments of the game, right? And there's so many things that have to be addressed.
So many things have
I'm
to be
constantly
concluded,
worried
yeah.
that they're not going to be able to.
No, they're not.
Like the 3rd episode
We've spoken about, yeah. Sorry, go
does
ahead.
a lot of stuff that I think I expected to happen with some sort of closure.
Not even
I
closure.
have zero.
Just one of my favorite moments.
Explanations.
One of my favorite moments from the show is John and Egret's kind of romance and stuff, and how that concludes. Right?
Yeah.
It concludes with her like they are, they're against they love each other. They hate each other in the beginning, then they fall in love, and then they're again at opposition. Like of each other. And how they conclude that love story is when she's shot. Where's the spoilers for Game of Thrones, obviously, but
Like
like
2
season
seasons
3,
ago, yeah.
3-4 seasons ago, maybe. Yeah, so like it's an old episode, but she dies in front of him because she's shot by an arrow from Ollie, who's part of the Night's Watch.
Yeah.
So. And it's something that he stands for and he's fighting the free folk for, and so there's that tragedy in that few minutes where he holds her and he's just like, oh shit, I actually do love her and she loves me and it's fine and it's great, right? I am missing that level of depth and, closure or catharsis in a relationship or a character arc or something as of now. Even though we've seen an episode which has had a lot going on in it.
I feel like that episode had depth, but not a lot of development. Not a lot.
I don't want
happened.
I don't want development. I think all the characters are there. We've reached the place. But
No,
now we
man,
just
I
need to
feel
see
like the main thing that was to be addressed. The main thing, I don't want to discuss details of the episodes at this stage, but a lot of the stuff, I feel like if there was more explanation of motivations and histories, there might be a little more depth to the things that happen.
They're 8 seasons in. It's done. I mean, they're not gonna give you more character development. It's as in like now we know where everybody stands and who they are, right?
No, I meant plot development.
I mean, plot development, sure, but
episode 2, a lot of characters having moments, but not a lot of plot.
Yeah,
it's essentially just like a long drop of a weight.
Yeah,
right?
it's a foreshadowing episode. That's basically
correct, which is fine. But then episode 3 is essentially.
I thought there was little development though. I think Jamie returning to Winterfell is a huge moment, right? Like, for me, that's... And
I'm not saying like literally nothing happened, but in episode 2 and in episode 3, very little happens, and the stuff that happens doesn't necessarily translate to any... whatever happens in episode 3, there's...
I agree.
It's hard to do this without getting into specifics, but I feel like if we understood why the things that were happening, there'd be a lot more investment in the show for me, as opposed to what was essentially a lot of mechanics.
Man, the other thing about this show is that everybody... when from season 6 onwards and 7 more so, everybody's like, oh man, the pacing of the show has become so fast. I don't like it anymore. I was just like, oh man, I'm ready for this. Like, I'm here for the quick, just cut to the masala. Give me something, right? I'm good. Make it quicker, right? The pace of this show. And we're in season 8, they only have 6 episodes. And yeah, and they're racing through stuff, and I thought that was my favorite part of it. But they've raced through some things in this last episode, that I just feel wasn't earned. It was just not. At least, I mean, I don't think they picked the right options. But again, I'm laying this as a contingency that I may still like this episode.
Exactly, I think it depends a lot
on what happens. Yeah, later on.
That's why maybe it's a good idea to treat these 6 episodes as one piece. And at the end of the season,
so should we just wait
where we land.
Watch the last 3 together.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I don't know how we're going to not be spoiled though by it.
You mean after the last episode,
after
when we
discuss
it? Yeah. When we do the full Game of Thrones episode, we should get into it, because again, like we've seen here, it's hard to discuss the quality of these things without discussing the specifics of it.
It's like Endgame and how there are only 6 characters and can't talk about them.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. This is our episode. This is our bulletin, I suppose.
This is a bulletin. We discussed, again, to recap, 3 important things which...
previously on Bulletin.
Spoiler alert, all of them were plugs. We plugged the Geek Fruit Cantina, Strikes Back, which is our event coming up on May the 4th. We plugged our Endgame episode coming out the Monday after the episode you're listening to.
It's going to be sick when we destroy this movie.
Yeah. And we plugged our Game of Thrones episode, which will be out in 3 weeks. Essentially, this was plugs and 0 not plugs. Well, that's been the Geek Fruit Bulletin. Bye, nerds.
Think fast. If I tell you I'm Parsi, what's the first thing that comes to mind? Dhansak. I don't blame you. My name is Perzan Patel. You may know me as the Bhavi Bride. Though I run a popular Parsi food blog, the truth is I didn't know anything about Parsi food until I got married. It was just my luck. He turned out to be your typical sadralega wearing, kawab khari eating Parsi boy. And the only thing I knew was dhansak, or rather, how to eat it. But there's more to Parsi food than dhansak. And there is more to us than our obsession with eggs and our legendary Rani cafes. Welcome to Not Just Dhansak, a fresh new show where I talk to friends, fellow Babas and Parsi entrepreneurs about all things Bhonu. A little bit of history, a dash of Baba madness, and a lot of food talk. There's more to Parsis than meets the eye, and there's certainly more to us than Dhansak. Join me every Tuesday as I talk to some of my favorite Parsis in the food space in India and beyond. I am the Bhavi Bride, and this is Not Just Dhansak.
Hey, this is Shridaditya.
And I'm Amit Doshi.
And we host Shunya One.
It's a really fun podcast where we talk to some of the best entrepreneurs in the country.
Yes, talking about everything from their startup challenges to what they're building and all the future of technology right here.
So catch us on the IVM Podcast website, app, or wherever you listen to your podcast from.